I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. The real reason why Naziah's grandma didn't protect her. This is one of those questions that is out there, and it's been out there. And for me, I've set on the actual answer. Because, you might think one thing, and then you might say, well, let me just hold off on how I feel, and let me just let things play out. But I've received several messages. I've received several messages from friends. I've received 2 messages from family members. I've received messages from neighbors. And all of these messages talks about the reason why Miss Annette did not protect Naziah, and why Miss Annette allowed things to happen. Salute to my moderators. Salute to my moderators. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Salute to the replay gang. It's sad, y'all. But the reason why Miss Annette didn't protect Naziah, the reason why Miss Annette allowed these things to happen to Naziah, we have been seeing it for many, many years. We've been seeing it for many, many, many years. Can I get everybody to throw up some purple hearts? Can I get everybody to throw up some purple hearts in the chat? And can I get y'all to hashtag justice for Naziah? Now I'm going to be resorting to these messages, these messages. And like I said, when you have messages from a family member, when you have messages from neighbors, when you have messages from friends of the family, and those messages go together, you pretty much already know. There it is right there. There it is right there. Let's start with Miss Annette. We're going to start with Miss Annette. And we're going to backtrack. We're going to do some backtracking. We're going to do some backtracking. And most of us have heard Miss Annette's testimony or her answers to the questions on the stand. And then most of us have seen that birthday video. See, the birthday video says it all. It says it all. That's the icing on the cake. The first thing that we notice about Miss Annette, no kind of emotions. No kind of emotions at all. The second thing that we notice about Miss Annette waited until the next day. Right? Big Mama gonna be cutting a fool. Big Mama would have definitely been crying, Big Mama definitely would have been emotional on that witness stand. And Big Mama definitely wouldn't have waited all night long to call or to report. And notice, she waited till she went to Naziah's school. What was that about? What was that about? Zoom in on that. Why did she wait until she get to Naziah's school? When you woke up that next morning, immediately, when you found out that Naziah wasn't in that house, immediately, you were supposed to have reported it to the DPD, Detroit Police Department. Let's go to Miss Annette for a minute, y'all. Let's go to Miss Annette for a minute.
Yeah, let's get it this way. Did you know someone by the name of Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
And do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today?
I don't mean to laugh. I mean, just the facial expression. See, focus on the facial expressions. Now, you mean to tell me Jarvis is sitting right in front of her? Jarvis sitting right in front of her.
If you need to stand up and look around.
I have no glasses on. I don't see them.
Do you need glasses, ma'am?
Yeah, my daughter has my glasses.
Okay, Judge, may I take a moment to go get her glasses?
Yep. Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, Annette is working for the defense. Miss Annette is working for the defense. That's a point for the defense team. That's a point for the defense team. I'm going to come down to the chat, y'all. Give me a minute. But she working for the defense. Talking about, I don't see him. And she looking. Now watch. When she do put her glasses on, watch. No longer will she be looking around. When she put them glasses on, she looking straight at Jarvis. Yeah. Come on, Annette. Come on with the bull. And she still don't see him. Huh? She still don't see him.
Yes. Thank you.
Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Watch this.
Maybe you could just stand up and take another look.
Okay. Yes.
Do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you
Yes.
point to him and identify a piece of clothing that he's wearing?
Blue uniform with the blue mask.
For the record, the witnesses identified Jarvis as the defendant in this matter.
So reflected.
And may I approach the witness again, Judge?
Yeah.
I'm approaching with what's already been admitted as People's 9. And Ms.
Now let me come on down to the chat. Let me get my chat involved in this early. All right, let's get the chat involved in this early. Come on, leisure lady. I see you. Zena, Nisi. Nisi says, courtroom isn't that big either. Top flight. Mary Ann. Annette, you full of it. Nene, no care is given about Naziah. None at all. Salute, Marty. Salute, Chen. Glad to see you Friday. Salute, Antoinette. Lola. Glad to see you Friday. Foxy. Foxy says exactly. She looked straight at him without looking around the room for him. Exactly. Bellas. Salute, Bellas. Trina. She was looking right at him. Facts. The whole time. Facts. Tracy. Kristen. Nene says, Annette, can you see now? Kenyatta says, Annette saw Jarvis the first, you know what time. Exactly. That part right there. Yes, working with the defense team. She's working with the defense team, y'all. Hey, Friday. Glad to see you back, Friday. April says, she has something to do with it. Oh, yes. Miss 2 feet. See, Belinda, I see you. Raw. And the thing with Annette, still, Shanae says, it's all sad. If we go back and look, she looking straight at him without her glasses on. Exactly, Trina. Exactly. Hey, Sabrina. Now, it's not far-fetched, y'all. It's not far-fetched why she allowed this to happen. Salute, Miss LB. I wear bifocals and can see without my glasses. Exactly. Candy says, let's give a round of applause to Granny Monster. And it's the reason why I know that we all have felt the reason why. We all believe the reason why. But I got these messages, right? I received these messages, and Miss Annette was upset. And I'm not even going to say upset, but because Miss Annette's husband, which we all know that's allegedly been out there, but Miss Annette's husband raped Naziah's mother, Lady. And of course, she didn't believe Lady. That he raped her. But Miss Annette allowed it to happen. In the same way with Shannon, when it comes to Naziah and Jarvis, Miss Annette felt some type of way about Naziah's mother, which is her daughter, Lady. She didn't believe Lady when Lady told her that her husband had raped her. She didn't believe Lady. And most mothers, not all, because there are some mothers that do believe their daughters. But we've heard the testimony of some women on my panel that said that when they told their mom what the husband or the boyfriend was doing, the mom didn't believe her. We had Krishan Rock's sister, China, over here a few weeks ago. And she said what happened to her when she reported it that her stepdad touched her, she said when they got out to the car, the mom reached in the back of the car and gave her 2 black eyes. So it's not common for a mom to not believe her daughter. But for Miss Annette to, first of all, not believe lady, you know, and then treat lady's child, Naziah. See, one thing that we know about jealousy and envy, that's a demon of its own. That's a hell of a demon to have in you. That envy of somebody else, that jealousy. Because when you jealous of somebody, you'll take their life. You'll set them up to get their life taken. Because we all wonder, what would make Miss Annette not protect Naziah? And as you can see, Naziah didn't even have nothing to do what went on with her mother and Miss Annette's husband. Naziah wasn't even born. Right? Let me keep my chat involved. Lola says she not though. Abel says, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how old you are. You should never be jealous of a child. That's facts. Salute, PJ. Salute, Maria. Salute, Maria. Marianne says, facts. I ain't never been jealous of nobody. Give me a minute, y'all. Boy, I got the... Boy, I got the DMs going off right now. My DMs is going off right now. Yes. Foxy says, me and my son are going through it with my 1-year-old grandbaby's mother. She jealous of her and angry with my son because she not with him. And a lot of mothers, a lot of women do get jealous. Antoinette says, one of the 7 deadly sins. Make sure y'all get my likes up. We got 361 in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button. JJ says, jealousy is as cruel as the grave. And then Annette being wrapped up already in the CPS case, 40 years of CPS. And then the I'm going to say these weirdos that she allowed to come around her family, you know, the fake evangelists, all these widows, these folks at this Jehovah Shalom church. Then it goes from Annette wanting to be with the what's his name? Bishop Stacy. Then to getting kicked out. Annette, what's really good with you? What's really good with you? Shannon says, my kids never saw me with no other man besides their father. We've been done for 3 years. I don't bring nobody around my kids. And that's, to me, that's the best way to be. You should never be jealous of anyone. I'm way behind in the chat, y'all. I'm way behind in the chat. Let's go back to some more of lying ass Miss Annette. And I will come back to the chat, y'all. But hit the like button for me.
Terrace, do you recognize the person in that photo?
Yes,
And who is that person?
Jarvis Butts.
And is that the same person you've identified in court here today?
Yes.
And see their jealousy, you know, their hatred. So now you got the sisters. How many of y'all remember the Cinderella story? Drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all remember the Cinderella story. Remember? The sisters They hated Cinderella. The twins, they hated Lady. You know what I mean? But this is a Cinderella story. I mean, just look at Miss Annette, y'all. Just sitting up there like at least with Jarvis's sister. At least with Jarvis's sister. Jarvis's sister did show emotions. I can't take that from Jarvis' sister. I can't take that from Jarvis' sister. She showed emotions. And in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I believe that Jarvis' sister knows that, or I believe that Jarvis' sister feels as though she could have done more to protect, and she could have possibly saved Naziah's life. That's what I get off of Jarvis' sister. But at least we see emotions. We see emotions coming from Jarvis' sister. We don't see no emotions coming from Annette at all. At all. So it ain't no wonder why we don't see no emotions coming from Shannon. That's like they just sit like what? You know? Like what? But Jarvis's sister, she's emotional on the stand. You know, I give her that. She is emotional on that stand. We don't see that from Annette. We don't see that from Shannon.
And Ms. Harris, how did you know Mr. Butts back in January of 2024?
He's the father of my daughter's children.
And is that daughter Shannon Harris?
Yes.
Okay. How many kids do they have together?
And I do believe that he's more than of your daughter's children, because that birthday video, you broke your neck to get the Jarvis. You broke your neck to get the Jarvis. You ain't had no problem seeing Jarvis that night of the party when you broke your neck to get over there to him.
Five.
And would he come around your house on Bedford in January or the months leading up to January?
Whenever he did come, he would always pull up in a white truck, and Shannon would go out to the car and they would sit and talk or whatever.
Another lie. Whenever he would come, whenever he would come, he would always pull up outside and Shannon would come out. Let me jump to the chat, y'all. How can you show loyalty to someone who done something so ugly to your grandchild? Exactly. I believe Jarvis' sister felt like she seen something but didn't say nothing, and that's eating her up, in my opinion. I'm with you on that, Candy. I feel the same way. Shannon says, not one tear. Janet says, Annette is so fake because Jarvis was the defendant, so she could have been blind and pointed at him. There was no reason for her to look around. Facts. Facts. I see you, Blue Devil G. Blue Devil G. I see TF. Joelle says, ain't no way I will be able to have that good of posture sitting on that stand knowing my grandchild missing like this. I would be a train wreck. Most of us, I'm going to say all of us, would be the same way, Joelle. There's no way in the world you're going to be sitting up there so calm. There's just no way. You know, Jarvis' sister, Naziah, wasn't even any kidding to Jarvis' sister, and you seen how emotional she was. You know, she was getting aggressive, and I understand, but you don't get none of that from Annette. They love some Jarvis. Yes, they do, Belinda. Yes, they do. They love that man. They love that man. And that's how that man was able to operate the way he was operating. And also, we know that it's bigger than Jarvis, but they love Jarvis. I mean, they loved him. Salute, Becca. Salute, Becca. Appreciate you for pulling up, Becca. Kenya Doll, I see you. Kenya Doll says, man, right. Yes, she did at the birthday party. You know, broke her neck. She's a wolf in sheep clothing. Yes. Yes. I see you, Belinda. Appreciate you for pulling up, Belinda. I see you. I'm going to take a few more comments, then I'm going to jump back. Kenya says, looking thirsty. Salute, Victoria. Kenyatta says, I wish I was a fly in the room in their wall just to see if they talk about Naziah. And you know what, Kenyatta? I believe they talk about her, but I believe they don't got nothing but negative things to say about her. Belinda says, lips like Marge Simpson. Jarvis was sexing up all of them, even Annette. I agree with you, Patricia. Salute, Pookie. Salute, Pookie. That part I didn't see. Line again. Karen says, hey, salute, Karen. I'm going to jump down past these comments, but I will come back to y'all comments, all right? Colette says, he slept with the whole family. They said keep it in the family. Exactly. Salute, April. You welcome. You welcome. I know it's no telling she may be sleeping with him as well. Exactly. I'll come back to the chat, y'all. I will come back to the chat.
But he would very rarely come in my house.
And during that time when he would come around and sit in his car, was there any times that he would interact with Naziah that you saw?
Not that I remember, no.
But we seen another video. How many of y'all seen that video? I don't know if it, see, when these videos and stuff that be coming up, I don't know how old they are, and I don't know if they knew, but this was a recent video that I seen when Naziah was dancing and everything, and Jarvis came in, and Jarvis put his arm like this around her and went in another room. So you can't say that Jarvis never interacted with Naziah. That's a lie. That's a lie. Why was she up at the shop? Why was Naziah up at the shop? Right? Drop a one if I'm skipping. Drop a 1 if I'm skipping. Drop a 2 if I'm not. Drop a 2 if my audio is good. Drop a 1 if my audio is messing up. Drop a 2 if my audio is good. All right.
Now, I want to talk specifically about January 9th. You had described your morning routine with the kids. Did you follow that routine on January 9th?
Yes, I did.
And did that include dropping Naziah off at J.E. Clark 7:15 to 7:30?
Yes.
And can you tell us what she was wearing on January 9th, 2024?
Yes, she was wearing a pair of light powdered blue jeans with a light powdered blue jacket that had the black little fur around the collar. It was like a two-piece set.
Okay. And did she have a sweater on or a shirt on or something?
She had a shirt. She wore a shirt underneath it.
And you remember, did she have any other clothes with her on the 9th when you dropped her off?
She had her little blue sweatshirt with the little hoodie. She had that with her.
And do you know how or when she got that hoodie?
I bought that hoodie for her. I guess it was in the fall sometime when I bought it. When I first, I mean, it wasn't nothing new. It was just one of her old hoodie jackets she'd use when she go to gym.
Okay. And in terms of, if you know, the condition of that hoodie on the 9th, was it torn, ripped, damaged in any way?
No, it was fairly, really, like, kind of like still new, because she took pretty good care of her things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
May I approach you?
Yes.
I'm approaching with People's Proposed Exhibit 12. Ms. Harris, do you recognize what I just handed you?
Yes,
And is that a picture of Naziah?
yes.
And do you know when that picture was taken?
The same day, January the 9th, she took this picture.
Move to admit People's Proposed 12.
Any objection?
No objection.
It'll be admitted as People's Exhibit 12.
And when you dropped Naziah off at J.E. Clark, what was the routine supposed to be after school was over?
Okay, well, school is over, the bell rings at 2:40. Naziah was due to come home. And normally when the bell rings, 2:40, 2:45, she's getting on the bus.
And that's what she normally did on other days?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry,
And
yes.
what time would she normally arrive back at home?
Naziah would be walking in through the door, maybe 3:05, no later than that.
And on January 9th, did she walk in at 3:05?
No, she did not.
And were you home when she didn't come home?
I was there for a little while, but I left out to run some errands. But no, when I got to the house, she was not there.
And at that time, did you have a conversation with someone else about her not coming home, Naziah not coming home?
Yeah, when I picked my children up from the after school program, I went in and my daughter said,
Objection to what her daughter said. I want to hear.
Now, I might be reaching, but I thought that according to Shannon, I thought that Miss Annette asked her about Naziah, or the kids asked about Naziah. But Miss Annette is saying that my daughter. Now, I could be reaching. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know if I'm reaching or not. Y'all let me know if I'm reaching. Let me take a minute, y'all. Please, y'all. No profanity in the chat. No profanity in the chat.
That's most useful to a priority advantage customer is you never have to pick up a plunger again.
And not asking for what anybody said, but did you talk to Shannon, your daughter?
yes,
about-
Shannon said she was not there.
When you got home that day on the 9th, was Naziah there?
No,
And did you eventually make a police report about her missing?
yes, I did. Yes, I
And
did.
when did you do that?
That morning when I got to school, I went up and dropped the kids off to school. I talked with the dean and the principal, and I told them that I was on my way to the police station, and they told me that they would call the police, and the DPS police came there.
And you said DPS, is that Detroit Public Schools?
Yeah,
And did you talk to an officer at that time at the school?
yes, I did.
And was that at J.E. Clark physically at that location?
Yes,
And you said that morning, are you talking about the morning of the 10th?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Was Naziah active on social media, if you know?
Well, as far as I know, she was. I mean, there were times that she was sneaking, go on it, but yeah, she was.
Okay. And did you keep track of her social media pages like TikTok or Facebook or anything like that?
I tried, a lot of times, I would take her phone and stuff from her, so to keep her from being on there,
And after the 9th, did you ever see any posts made by Naziah?
I didn't see any posts. Most of the time, if there was a post or something, or she posts, my daughter or someone would call me and tell me.
Now I'm gonna read to everybody the last comments that I received, and I won't say who it is that sent me the messages, but I'm going to read. And like I said, I've received several messages like this coming from a family member of Annette, coming from some neighbors. Give me a second. It says, so I asked them about Frank. Well, I asked her about Frank. And she says, Frank owned the auto shop. He used to fix my tires. But I know he went to court for dumping tires in the neighborhood. And there is a news clip of Frank and another man being arrested about dumping them illegal tires, dumping them tires. So I know this is true. It says it was a big thing on the news about that. I don't know too much about him. He was the mechanic in the neighborhood and was littering our neighborhood with these tires. Now it says, but I know that Miss Annette never did like Lady. She always blamed her for her husband, Graping Lady. I wonder why she gave her that name. Why did Miss Annette give Naziah's mother that nickname Lady? This is what she is wondering. Why? So it says, I wonder why she gave her that name, but she was letting her husband, to her when she was a young girl. The person says, I stayed across the street from them and I would hide the kids in my house. She would be over 40 years of CPS. I used to call every week. Now this neighbor has been around for a while. This lady has been around for a while. And we know that Miss Annette called Naziah glamorous. So I say, wow. So then the neighbor says, Lady could come to see her kids only if she had money. So the only way Miss Annette would allow Lady to come see her own kids, Lady would have to have money. Says she would have to have money to bring to the mother. Then she says, I used to bring her there to drop off money. She used to take her over to Miss Annette to drop off money. I couldn't understand why that mother hated Lady so much. That's why I'm always going to have Lady's back, because I have seen the hell she's been through. So this is a neighbor. This is a reliable neighbor. Because like I said, I've received messages similar. And I say, Annette ain't ish. She says she hates Lady, and she always have hated Lady. I have watched that Lady have had her kids 3 times and tried to get her life right, but it's hard. She been through that ain't ish, and she never done ish anytime you let your husband rape your daughter, and then you blame your daughter for it. You ain't ish. Says I'm watching Lady go through hell and still try to stand up and be strong, but she is so damn broke. And I'm sure she is broke. I'm sure Lady is broke. A lot of trauma, a lot of trauma. Now there is a lot of things that's out there about the family. one of the things that's out there about the family is allegedly Miss Annette is some kind of madam. Miss Annette is some kind of madam. Now, this church that she was hooked up with, and these characters, and this is when that rabbit hole comes into play. Many people wonder why we are going after these characters that's in that rabbit hole. Well, it's a reason why the content creators are going after these characters, because we know that Jarvis is guilty. Well, let me backtrack. In our opinions, it's our opinions that Jarvis is guilty for, inappropriate touching Naziah. I'll stand by that all day long. And I'm sure the rest of us feel that same way. We ain't ducking that at all. We ain't saying, free Jarvis. We ain't going to be outside of the county jail. We ain't going to be outside of the courthouse with picket signs, free Jarvis. Hell no. We ain't going to be wearing no shirts, free Jarvis. Hell no. In my opinion, Jarvis is where he belongs at. He's definitely responsible for inappropriate touching because Naziah had already reported it. Remember? And not only did Naziah report it, another child reported it. So Jarvis is where he belongs at. Let's not get that twisted. The CPS report that the CPS workers reached out to Shannon and Shannon denied it. So they felt as though the children eats, the children go to school, the children has clothes. Shannon says that it never happened. Okay, no need to further investigate. The DPD, Detroit Police Department, had the report. Oh, but it didn't have Jarvis's it didn't have Naziah's last name on it. It only had her first name. It had Jarvis' name on there, right? All you had to do was pull Jarvis' report card, right? So Jarvis is definitely where he belongs at, because even Janelle and Kiwana reported it to CPS. And a big shout out to them because they did report it. Can't take that from Janelle and Kiwana. They all on the news. So you can't take that from them. They reported it. So I get a lot of people coming at me about, man, why you covering for Jarvis? I'm not covering for Jarvis. But I'm down this rabbit hole, and I believe everybody else that's down this rabbit hole, we are down this rabbit hole because if we just worry about Jarvis, and if Jarvis is the only one that goes to prison, and these characters that's down this rabbit hole don't, guess what? More children are going to be taken advantage of by those characters that's down that rabbit hole. If those characters that's down that rabbit hole, if the three characters that I pointed out, Frank, the evangelist Kenneth Darnell Greer, if they were innocent, they would be up on my panel right now checking me. They would be up on my panel right now checking me. Hold up, Shank Rock. Hold up. You got me effed up. I need to talk to you, Shank Rock. Now let me tell you what's really good, Shank. Me being the man that I am, I would allow that. and I will allow them to get everything that they need to get off their chest. I wouldn't open my mouth, because if I'm wrong and somebody checks me, I can't say nothing. But that's why they not going to pull up, because they know when they pull up, they know they ain't going to be able to justify why they are down that rabbit hole. Because if somebody got me effed up, I'm going to pull up on them. I offered for them to pull up. They can pull up right now. Pull up. But notice where the evangelist went to. Notice where Kenneth Darnell went to. They went to Miss Parker's platform. Shout out to Miss Parker and Talk with Prince. Miss Parker and Talk with Prince done an excellent interview with the evangelist and Kenneth Darnell Grigg. They done an excellent interview with them. But now put me in the equation. Put a man in front of them that's going to ask them questions. They ain't going to be able to do it. Because just like women don't play with women, men don't play with men. See, for me, it's like when I interviewed Roxy's mother, Kenya. I had to be diplomatic. I had to be relaxed and cool and calm. The ladies, the content creators that's late, they didn't. They can match another woman's energy with the same energy. I'm a man. I can't match a woman's energy. It ain't going to go right for me. However, a man, I can match another man's energy all day long. See, if they pull up on Shank Rock, I can match their energy. I ain't going to feel sorry for them. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to call them out. And my choice of words for the three would be, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? Nothing more, nothing less. The fuck was you thinking? Yeah, Shank. I don't want to hear that shit. That's a child involved, man. Them children involved, man. Nothing more, nothing less. I'll drop my link. His baby mother allegedly pulled up. His baby mother pulled up. There's the link. Frank, pull up. Evangelist Kenneth, pull up. Kenneth Darnell, pull up. I want to know. First, I want to know why you didn't protect Naziah. Why y'all didn't protect Naziah? The evangelist, as big as your ass is, nobody shouldn't have never been able to do nothing to Naziah. As big as you is. Nigga, you look like you played defensive end. You look like you about 320. Nobody on your watch, nobody shouldn't have got close to her at all. Because one thing about men respect men. All you had to do was pull up on any of them. Jarvis, no match against you. Come on, dude. Jarvis is no match. Physically, Jarvis was no match against you at all. You knew what the business was with Jarvis. Your big ass, come on. Could none of them done nothing with you? Well, I did when I did had them, nigga, tighten your voice up. Put some bass in your voice. You're a grown man. 320 solid. Put some bass in your voice. Yeah, see, I did have when Vari and Naziah, yes. Man, Negro, please, man. Come on with the bullshit, man. Donnell. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Frank, you got to go. You definitely got to go, Frank. But Annette allowed that. She allowed this. You know what I mean? Because as I said before, Annette, because she wasn't protected at 11 years old, right? She didn't want to protect Naziah. She didn't even protect Shannon's kids. As long as Annette was getting money, and as long as Annette was able to ride around chasing the bishop. So we got the bishop involved. We got the evangelist involved. Man, what's really good with y'all church folks, man? I better not never hear a church folks try to talk ish about nobody else. Because y'all church folks are the most corrupted, evil, devilish people that I've ever ran across. I personally know some demonic church people that got a title, pastor. Yeah, that's pastor. And that's reverend. And that's preacher so-and-so. And these are the last days. These are the last days when y'all gonna get exposed. Don't y'all see now that y'all are being exposed? Y'all don't even see it. But for all these years, all these years, wolves in sheep clothing is in the Bible. All these years, these wolves in sheep clothing have been preying on us. When I got a little older, I believe it was 18. When I hit 18 years old and I got knowledge of myself, I made a promise to me. I promised myself that if I'm going to come up off of any money, it won't be to none of them fake ass preachers. I ain't kicking out no money to them fake ass preachers. I ain't doing it. I ain't knocking you that do it though. That's your dough. That's your money. I ain't knocking those that do it. Shank rock? Nah. Nah. I got a choice of words for the preacher. See, they don't want to talk to me because they know. They know. Fake ass pastors always telling you, you need to be saved. Are you saved? Is your funky ass saved? That's the question. Always questioning other people. Is you saved? Is you saved? You know, you need to have a relationship with the Lord. I got a relationship with the Lord. Do you got a relationship with the Lord? We see what, quote unquote, so-called God's people is doing. Just look. Just look. Just look. Look at it, man. Yeah, this is why I have to be cool and calm, because I'll get on one. and I'll forget all about the demonstration. Look at this shit, man. Seriously. Seriously, man. Don't nothing about this person right here says an evangelist. Nothing right there says anything about an evangelist. Now this dude right here don't know nothing. No. Every question. No. Come on with the bullshit, man. He know more about the family than me. I thought you ain't know about the family. Man, y'all some sorry ass excuses, man. Seriously, man. Seriously. And if y'all are guilty, if y'all did touch Naziah, I hope y'all sorry asses get everything that comes y'all way. If y'all did touch that little girl. And anybody that covers for them, y'all ain't ish either. What's going on here, man? What's going on, man? What's good, man? What's good? Let me talk to y'all ladies. All right? All right? Beauty is on the inside. Always remember that. Beauty is on the inside. Always know that. Hey, I know. It's easier said than done. And I know. Everybody wants somebody to love them. I know. I got low self-esteem. I go through issues. So I know. And I know you might see couples together. You might have family members that may be married. I get all of that. But ladies, y'all got to stop selling yourselves short. It's a man out here for every one of you ladies that's watching this right now. It's a man out there for every one of y'all. It may not be that man that you want. Now, I got to talk to some of y'all funky ass ladies now, because some of y'all ladies got some funky ass attitudes. Now, we going to kick it. And we going to be real. Now. I'm going to talk to some of y'all ladies with them funky ass attitudes. There are men out here for you. There's a man out here for you. But you got to be right. See, a lot of ladies, y'all jump on these Jarvises. Y'all run after these Jarvises because y'all funky asses ain't right. I called y'all funky. Y'all got some funky ass attitudes. You'll never be able to say, damn, Shank, why you ain't keep it real with me? I'm keeping it real with you. Shank, see, shut up. Shank, you don't shut up. That's the problem with some of y'all funky ass ladies. Y'all won't shut the hell up. So when God send you a man, or when a man is there, you too busy running your mouth. So my man, he be like, I'm gone. I just need a man that can handle me. No, you don't. You don't need a man that can handle you. You need to shut the hell up and listen and get your funky ass right. Nothing more, nothing less. Y'all settling for Jarvis? Y'all settling for Jarvis? Come on now. And I bet right now, if I bring some of y'all ladies up on this panel, and if I ask y'all about Jarvis, that's why I asked that demonstration a minute ago. Remember, I asked the demonstration, do y'all think Jarvis is handsome? Do y'all think, could you see yourself dating Jarvis? Some of y'all, I just don't know. Some of y'all, I just don't know. Right? But y'all settling for the Jarvises. Y'all settling for the knuckleheads. And I look and I watch. And I see. I got eyes. So I see. And I see some nice looking females that got it going on. I mean, bodies like be having me like, God damn, she fat as a motherfucker. But what's inside? What's on the inside? Because I'm going to tell you, after we bang it, I mean, the shit going to get old. It's going to get old. We're going to be infatuated with it for a few. But once we bang it and bang it and bang it till we can't bang it no more, we're going to get tired of the fat ass. We're going to get tired of the pretty face. But what's on the inside is what I'm trying to get to. So I'm just trying to speak to the females to let the females know, no matter how your outer appearance is, get right on the inside. So when a man comes your way, and it might be a man that you only dream about getting. But if you right on the inside, that man that you dream about getting, that man gonna love you. That man gonna protect you. That man gonna be there with you. That man will put a ring on your finger. And that man will tell the whole world, I ain't leaving my woman for nobody. But back to Annette. Back on Annette. Annette's childhood trauma. It ruined her. It ruined her. It ruined her. Annette saw her daughter, Lady, as competition. Look at the outer appearance of Lady. Look at the outer appearance of the twins. In Annette's mind, the twins ain't no competition to me. But Lady is competition. And to have her own husband, great Lady, you can imagine how that made Annette feel. So there's some animosity that she held towards Lady, her own daughter. The twins, the evil twin sisters, Cinderella. Now here come Naziah. Now you got these down a rabbit hole dudes, Frank, King, Jarvis, the evangelist, Kenneth, Donnell Greer. They see this little girl that's not protected. Father ain't around. Mother ain't around. She was prey. She was easy prey for him. They played on that little girl. So that's why we down this rabbit hole. Be careful that I don't drag your funky ass down the rabbit hole. See, I'll be too nice to y'all. I'll be nice, you know. But sometimes I gotta pop my pop. Sometimes I gotta pop my collar to show you motherfuckers that I ain't playing with y'all and I ain't scared of y'all. These are babies that's involved, man. Babies. These are babies that y'all should be protecting. But because Annette's jealousy and envy of her own daughter, because her husband, great lady, I mean, anybody with that's normal. Now we gonna see who's God's people, and now we gonna see who's the devil's people. God is of love. God is peace. God say protect his children. An evangelist. An evangelist of what? Stop playing with God's word. Just because you read the Bible, just because you quote scriptures, don't make you no evangelist. Don't make you no bishop, no pastor. Stop it. Stop it. Stop robbing God's people of their money. Stop it. I want to know, first of all, what are y'all doing with the money? The preachers. What are y'all doing with the money that y'all are collecting? Do y'all have any business? This is what I say to any pastor. You want to collect tithes, you want to collect money from your congregation, then you should have at least one kind of business where as though you can put members in your congregation to work. Y'all always talk about what the preacher need. Y'all always talk about what the pastor need. Y'all always talk about donating to the pastor, donating to the preacher, right? But when a church member is in need of financial dependency, y'all always tell that church member, pray. I'm going to be praying for you. Well, why when it comes around to you needing finance, how come you can go to your congregation, pastor? How come you can pass the collection plate around to your congregation, pastor, to take care of your financial needs? But how come when it comes time for the congregation, the members in the congregation, when they're going through issues, why we got to pray? Oh, now you want to pray. Let me drop the link. Let me drop the link, man, because I just, like I said, I just see what's going on. Matter of fact, let me come to the chat. Let me drop to the chat. Rozzy says, Red, Joel, never in my life I have imagined or seen anything like this. Erlene says, like I said, before Annette held what happened between her husband and Lady, she took it out on Naziah because Lady is not around to retaliate against, and she named them those. And that's facts. That's what everything that comes to me, that's what the people saying. Salute. RSS, sorry, but church is backwards. They help themselves instead of helping you, the people. I see you, Phoenix Fireside. I see. And Miss Parker got her merch out, y'all. Miss Parker got her merch out. So make sure everybody pull up on Miss Parker's later on, and make sure you all support Miss Parker. All right? Make sure everybody support Miss Parker and her merch. If you don't, well, I'll let Miss Parker tell y'all more about her merch. But Miss Parker do have her merch, all right? Talk with Prince, shake my head. It's sad what some have turned the church into. Yeah. That's exactly what they do in church. Right. Constance says, you speaking, Shank. Bruh, you already know how these no good ass men do. Right. Yeah, okay, Miss Park. Everybody pull up on Miss Park. Let me come back. I don't mean to skip over no. I'm okay, Miss Parker not going live. My bad, Miss Parker. Miss Parker not going live. But be on the lookout for Miss Parker's merch. Be on the lookout for Miss Parker's merch. Who got Shank fed up this evening? These folks, Bossy D. These folks, Bossy D. Like, you know what I mean? Pastors are living large and the congregation got to go to food pantries. Bingo. Bingo. But you ain't going to see pastor at no food pantry. You ain't going to see the pastor at no food pantry. But his congregation going to be, I'll pray about it. We going to pray. Well, why when it comes to pastor needing, we don't got to pray for the pastor. Oh, we come out our pockets for the pastor. Man. Let me get back to Miss Annette. Man. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's get back to Annette. I'm not going to hold y'all that much longer. I know y'all tired of hearing Shank Rock rant. I know the people are tired of hearing Shank Rock rant. But I get like this sometimes. You know, because it's sad. It's sad that little baby went through what she went through. It's sad. It's sad that Vari. It's sad that them children went through what they went through. Nobody was there to protect them. You know what I mean? The evangelist, like I said, you want to impress me, motherfucker should have been stretched out, laid across the floor. Once you found out, evangelist, you were supposed to stretch everybody out in sight with no problem. Y'all did what? Jarvis, evangelist, you were supposed to step to Jarvis. You want to impress me? Step to Jarvis.
Have you ever heard after the night, any communication or seen Naziah? When is that a no?
No.
Okay.
And when you
Have you after this? Have you seen this? What a funky ass.
dropped her off on the night at school at J.E. Clark, was that the last time you saw her?
Yes.
May I have one moment, sir?
Yes.
Just to follow up, I did forget to ask this. Her bus stop, how far from your house was that in walking distance?
5 minutes.
Do you know where the location that she got dropped off at was, the address or the intersection?
Right there at 3 Mile Drive in Cornwall.
And that's 5 minutes from your house?
Yeah.
And did Naziah have any nicknames that people called her?
Where her family called her Tutor, but I've always called her Glamorous. I've been calling her ever since she was born.
Same way you call her mother Lady. Same way. So nickname her mother Lady, nickname Naziah Glamorous since she was born. Funky ass.
Is it Glamour?
Glamorous.
Oh. May I have one more objection?
Yes. You said Tutor?
Tutor.
Tutor.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her smile.
I have nothing for the question.
Okay, Ross.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Now, you are Naziah's maternal grandmother, correct?
Correct.
You're also her adopted parent, correct?
Correct.
And you said you adopted her in 2016?
Yeah, should have been, yeah, 16.
Okay. Is her birth mother still around?
She is.
Okay.
Now, this is what I wanted to get to. Pay close attention. Pay close attention how she speak. She is. Pay attention.
Does she have a relationship with her?
No.
She doesn't have any type of relationship, no contact with her that you know of?
Well, let me say this. I don't deal with my daughter. So she really didn't have really no contact with Naziah like that. She only came around now and then.
She didn't deal with her daughter like that. She only came around now and then. According to my messages, according to the DMs, only time she could come around is when she had money, right? That's the only time she could come around, when she had money. But Jarvis could come around. Jarvis could come around. How is it? How is it that a known, according to Jarvis's report card, he's a known serial child R word. So how is it that? How is it that you ain't got no problem with allowing Jarvis come around, but your daughter, no. No. Your jealousy, your envy for your daughter. And I don't know what goes through the mind of a man that wants his girlfriend's or his wife's daughter, younger daughter. I don't know. I don't know. I've never had that type of mind frame. I haven't. You know what I mean? For me, it's hell dealing with her funky ass mother. So I ain't about to deal with another funky ass one, just like the mother. So I couldn't tell y'all. I couldn't tell y'all. But I can tell y'all this though. If it is a man and if he wants your child over you, ain't nothing you could do about that. To me, that's a sick individual. That's a sick man. And I'm glad you brought up Eric Gamble, because I almost let him slip away. I ain't letting your ass slip away, Eric Gamble. Your funky ass got the same first name as me. I ain't letting you slip away. You pull up, because I'm going to ask you, man, why was you in back of Naziah, grabbing her and pulling and dancing up on that little baby like that, man? Fuck's wrong with you, Eric Gamble? Seriously. Seriously. What's really good with y'all? You grabbing that little girl from behind while that little girl dancing? That's a baby. If anybody want to pull up, y'all. I'm a probably cuss. If anybody want to join me on the panel, come on. Where is Shank Rock from? Annie Marie wants to know, where is Shank Rock from? Why did you ask that, Annie? Is it because of the way I pronounce certain words? Why do you want to know where I'm from? Yes, be more. Y'all love our accent. If it's nothing about us Baltimore people. We got one hell of an accent. Shout out to all of my Baltimore folks. Talk to me, Foxy.
Hey, Shank. From what I'm getting from this is that mother, she was jealous of her daughter, and a lot of mothers out here are jealous of their children, and they take it out on their if they can't get the daughter, they're gonna take it out on the grandchildren. And from what I'm seeing is that little girl was pretty. She was a cute little girl, and she was jealous. And if that child reminds her, you know how you have the mothers out here that they mad at the fathers or jealous of the father or something, so they take it out. You just like your father, you act like your father, or the fathers do the same thing. You act like your mother, you look like your mother. So they take out the anger for that person on the child instead of the person themselves. So because she can't get to the daughter, she's taking it out on her daughter, and that child went through hell and back dealing with that, along with a mother already abuser. Then she gets into a house with another abuser and verbally and physically abusing her, and then allowing, because you mad at the mother, you just allowing anything to happen to the daughter. That's wrong. And then you sit down and see no tears, no hurt, no nothing. It's nothing showing, no expression of hurt there. Me, I got a 1-year-old granddaughter. The mother is so jealous of that baby, it's pathetic. Oh, they here for you, baby. They all here for you. They ain't here for us. They ain't nobody. They all here for you. And that's all I kept hearing and kept hearing. And then the next thing I know, the baby falling off the bed 7 times. And then you hitting the child at 8 months old. And then you telling the child that she's crawling, talking about she just learned to crawl. If she fall off the bed, you don't give a damn. All of this is going on with us that we in court now. And this is what I'm saying. And the mother is jealous. My son came in one day and I was on the phone with him. He had his headset on because he's a truck driver. So I could hear the conversation. He said, "Hold on a minute, Ma." And I heard it. He said, "Oh, you going to come in and kiss the baby, but you're not going to kiss your woman?" And I'm like, these things happen. There are mothers out here that are definitely jealous of their children. And it's sad. And that mother is jealous of that her daughter. And she took it out on that her daughter, her grandchild. And it's sad. We go to court next month to deal with what we dealing with the mother. Now we just got through seeing a text where my son dropped the baby off to her on Saturday, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before last. But she's on the web social media advertising for someone to come and that she can trust to babysit her child. And here's all these men come up on her timeline saying you can bring them over here because. So we decided to investigate, find out from her sister. She said none of them guys is out any of our family. So now my son is in a turmoil. Like, how many? What? We don't know. These are the things that happen. And because of this, that's why I said don't stop talking. Talk about it. You and Ms. Parker. Bring that awareness. Because of you bringing that awareness, it's got me hiding. My son hiding more because now he's listening to you all and he's thinking about, his daughter and the mother. If she's willing to, and then she's dating all these men that we don't know who she's dating. We don't know if she's leaving them with her. And, we don't know what she's doing with this child. We already seen on video what you doing. So what are you doing when we not around now that we can't see? So these things are something that we need to, check into. And that's why I said when you're saying you rant, don't stop ranting. Keep ranting because your rants keep bringing awareness to people and make them look at their own households or look at their own family. So keep doing it. You and Miss Parker, don't ever stop ranting. You rant on my brother. Because of you, it brought more attention to what's going on in my household a little more. My family got me on more awareness with my family and people in my building. So keep ranting because you don't know who you touch and who you help with their situation. And I will give y'all an update on my son and what's going on with us next month when they go to family court. But the reason in the situation we in now is because the judge we got, what happened was we went to a family judge. That judge was going to put the mother in jail for abuse. But the mother went up and said, I wanted to I want a continuation so I can get a lawyer. Well, when we went back to court, we got a different judge. That judge didn't want to hear nothing about it. All he wanted to deal with the restraining order. So she had somebody that she knew that told her to go down to the courts and file a restraining on us. So when they did that, when we went to court for the restraining order, they told us we had to make a decision. So that's why she got her for 3 days and he got her for 4. So until we go to family court, there's nothing we can do at this time but abide by the court order. That's why I say sometimes the judges don't help with the situation either.
Right, right.
But you keep doing what you're doing. I wanted to come up here and say, don't stop ranting. You know, you're saying, well, I'm gonna start ranting. No, you keep it. You stay on their throat. You stay in on them. You and Miss Parker stay on their throat. Stay on them, because what they see when everybody stopped talking about it, then they felt like they're in the clear.
Right, right, right.
But as long as you keep bringing the attention, they can't. You know, they can't slide out of it. And that guy, evangelist, he's a joke. That's a joke. I'm sorry, that's a joke. You know, I'm into the church and I'm into things, but there's some things I see in the churches too that I don't agree with. And I was just talking about it the other day. Yeah, that's a joke right there. Right there, that's a joke. It ain't nothing evangelizing in that man at all. He's fake. That's fake. And he know he is not of God. That is not of God. And like you said, you knew these things were going on. Why didn't you protect this girl?
Knew that was going on.
Right.
Knew,
and you could have jacked them guys up.
Yeah.
Right.
Look,
You could have jacked them guys up. Like you say, he big enough to jack him up. And a real man would have jacked him up. So that lets me know shoot, I'm a woman, I would have jacked them up.
Come on. And it could have been a man. It could have been a man in corporate America. It could have been just a regular 9 to 5. It could have just been a man. This what lets me know what type of time they are on. Because a man, like I said, no matter what walk of life that man is in, a man, and they had Jarvis's report card, and they seen these kids around Jarvis. They seen Jarvis moving in and about around these kids. A man, and they know this report card. A man, trust me, a man would have stepped to Jarvis. Jarvis wouldn't have never came back around. I can tell you that much.
That part, and then some.
Because when that man stepped to Jarvis, Jarvis would have knew. I can't go back. If Jarvis would have made it up off the ground, either way, Jarvis wouldn't have came back around. And like I said,
now me as a woman, he would have been. First of all, I would have it would have been a baton upside the head, or it would have been a pium, and you might have been lamping. But you ain't gonna come back around there no more. I'm a woman, and I'm gonna stand up to you. If I see something like that, we gonna have some talk. And most of the time when you got men that's going after children like that, they're punks. They ain't gonna go up against a real man and a real strong woman. A real strong woman, they're gonna back right on down.
Did they pull up over here with me yet?
No.
Did they pull up over here with Shank Rock yet?
No, because he know a man against a man ain't gonna work. You a real man, and he's a boy. He's a punk. And the other one ain't gonna show up on you either, because he already know you gonna read him. A man know a man.
Bingo.
A real man know a man.
Bingo.
Hey.
And let me just say this: a woman, I ain't gonna waste time matching a woman's energy. But a man, I'm gonna match his energy all day.
And if she's a real woman, you ain't gotta match her energy. She should be mature enough to talk it out.
Bingo.
Without all this rah, rah, rah. What have you learned? What did you get? You can't tell a man what a man should do. You can talk to him and make him think about it, and then let him go and think about it and marinate on it. But don't see the same thing you don't want a man do to you, don't do it to a man. These are always been my philosophy with any woman. Don't do to a man what you don't want done to you. You don't want a man telling you what to do, then don't tell a man what to do. I was with my husband for 22 years, and we learned how to, we get to a point, we get heated. He said, I tell him or he'll tell me, okay, he said, okay, baby, you know what? Let's agree to disagree. I said, cool with me. I said, what you want to eat? I don't know what you want to eat. That was the end of the conversation. It was over with. We didn't bring it back up. We moved on. And just like women, the same thing that a man look at a woman, the same way a woman look at a man. I don't care how these women sit back and say they don't. You look at a man the same darn way. You look at it. So all these things y'all out here lipping, oh, I don't need a man. Stop lying. You need a man. Please stop lying. You need a man. All those that with women, you still need a man because you're using the part that's plastic just like a man. So you still need a man. So see, so you still need a man.
And can nothing plastic do for a woman what a man hard Jimmy Jank can do?
That part and then some. So when I sit back and I say, okay, y'all can plaster it up all you want to, but you're not going to get the same fulfillment that you will with a man. So I don't care how you could psychologically want to use it as that is not going to work. Number two, all of this, she's not crying. Ain't seen a tear. Ain't seen Annette. I ain't even call her Miss Annette. I'm calling her Annette. You can call her that because of your age and your respect. Me and her close to an age. No, she ain't no, ain't no, she's Annette. Because you get a miss if you would sit back and you did that girl right. And you didn't do that child right and none of them other children right. You didn't do nothing. I looked at I went back and reviewed that video, slowed it down to watch those children face. When she was cussing at that doorway, them children was in fear. A mother to another mother, a grandmother to another grandmother, them children was in fear. And all this, you pray for them, all this, please stop lying. Please stop lying. Because if you prayed for them that morning, you wouldn't be cussing them out all day long. You wouldn't have it in your heart to do that. So that lets me know that's a lie. Then you get on the stand, you looking around for Jarvis, and you know what that man look like. Then you say he ain't been in your house, but yet there's videos showing that he been in the house. There's videos of her being, just like I went back and looked at Evangelist. Why you got a picture, 2 pictures of her on your website showing Naziah standing there with her phone in the bathroom? Why you got them pictures on your site? Why do you have that picture, those pictures on your website? And then when she was at the bowling alley, you watching her and filming her. Why are you filming her? You go to the kids for a minute, but you right back watching her, looking at her, filming her. Come on, man. There's more to you than what you're saying. That evangelist stuff, you using that as a cover. You're a pervert using your evangelist title to step up on kids.
And that's how they do it.
So, I mean, that's just my opinion about all of this. That's my opinion about all this. And all of them have some part into it. But mostly Annette. She needs to go to jail along. Her, that evangelist, they both need to go to jail. Because you lied. Look, first of all, you doing perjury because you understand lying. So right there, you done perjured yourself. And you keep digging, you're gonna find some more in that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, I'm down the rabbit hole deep. I'm down the rabbit hole deep, and look, all their asses getting exposed. They all gonna get exposed.
Yeah, I just looked at the one that you just finished naming. The one you just finished naming, they was talking about he has a trampoline and all this stuff, and he's registered. And I'm like, what the? So how many have y'all had around them kids?
Bingo, like, and this is.
And when you got little girls that got certain parts that, okay, now because of the age, because of, I don't know what it is, but young girls are getting them early now. They're getting, more breasts and everything early. at 8 and 9 years old. So these perverts are starting out now on 10 and 11 and 12 years old.
Yeah.
Because they developing quick. But I'm like, how many men and how many crazies done been around those kids?
A lot. Look, let's look. A lot. Here they go right here. Here go the squad right here. Now, here go the evangelist, right?
Right.
Now, there go Florentino. That's Miss Annette's son, Florentino. Now, Florentino and the evangelist, they were in a committed relationship, right?
Right. So how old is he? Wait a minute. Florentino look like he like 12 or 13 years old.
Bingo. The stage was already set when Jarvis came into the picture, y'all.
Yeah.
When Jarvis came into the picture, the stage was already set. That's how Jarvis was able to operate. He couldn't have been able to operate if the stage wasn't set, but the stage was set. So he come along, the evangelist, he already, you know what I'm saying, inappropriate touching them. So
right.
Jarvis, it was already there.
And look, he's already going after a boy because, you know, he's evangelist and we know what level of evangelizing he's doing with boys. So I'm like, you know, that's a young man. That's a young boy. That's a child.
He told on himself on Miss Parker platform. Well, first, remember, Roxy mother, Kenya, spoke about the evangelist. Remember?
Right. I remember that.
She said one of the kids told about him, you know, inappropriate Florentino. And she said one time when she came in the house, the evangelist had his booty cheeks up in the air, sleep. So now when the evangelist goes on Miss Parker's platform, the evangelist say that him and Florentino met off of the dating app, a dating site.
Yeah, I heard that.
When? Because we see that you've been knowing Florentino.
Right.
You told on yourself. Florentino.
He told on himself. So you've been going on Annette's house for quite a while. And if you look back at her church thing, you see Annette on there quite a bit with them kids. To go back and look at the videos on his page. I did some research. It's like y'all did some research, I did some too, and I started looking. So he been using the evangelizing to get close to the little boys and the little girls.
And that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. The titles. Oh, he an evangelist. Oh, he a pastor. Oh, he it is. He it that. He the deacon of the church. Man, y'all want me to tell y'all what y'all could do with them titles? Man, y'all could shove them titles up y'all asses.
My thing is,
better yet, y'all can take, hold tight, Fox. Y'all can take them titles and y'all can shove them up y'all funky asses. That's what y'all can do with them titles. Because like I said before, if your heart ain't right, the heart gotta be right. Give a damn if you're an evangelist. Don't give a damn if you're a bishop. Don't give a damn if you're a pastor. What's your heart like? I want to know what your heart is like.
Exactly. And that's the problem, you know, that I've been having with my church. You know, the church, I'm like, why is it always about money? Money. I said, what about going out here evangelizing to the people? You want them to come to Christ, but I don't see nobody out here in the byways, out here in the streets talking to them. But y'all want to come up with money. Y'all want that money. Titles don't mean nothing to me if you ain't doing, like you say, the heart ain't right and you ain't doing right by the people.
Let me let Lisa slide in, y'all, so we can get up out of here, y'all. I'm on one. I don't want to be on one tonight. Slide in, Lisa. Slide in.
Hey, fam.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, baby. I wanted to clear up. I probably should have used another word. The other day I came on the panel and I said they all failed. Naziah said, well, and that she failed her by neglecting her. I said, Shannon was jealous of her, and I said, Jarvis loved her. And someone came on and said, Jarvis did not love her. So I think I used the wrong word. So for me personally to have closure, I want to elaborate and respond on uh, the term that I used. Okay, I used the word love, but I use it loosely because, in my personal opinion, because I'm not an expert in the area, I believe that that's why they're called pedophiles. They do not, all they see is, yes, I love her, she loved me. They do, and that's what he, in my opinion, thinks love is. Uh, Unable to see the fear, the resistance, the word no. Don't see none of that. I love her. She loved me. She want this. And yes, that's all they see. And I typed it in the chat. I believe that Annette is an addict. She is addicted to allowing her young to go with the old with no consequences. I say she need a walking cane because she turns a blind eye over and over and over again. If we said jealousy about one, okay, I give you that. But what about the security guard and what's that, Florentino? My thing is, the fake evangelist. He said, uh, Miss Park had made a statement about the age difference, and he was like, well, if he old enough to know what he want, and this and that and this and that, and that's what we want, and and I'm thinking, no, you are old enough to see what you want. You wanted the young, you know, and he said how he took him to uh where he needed to go and got him into a school or something. I don't want to misquote him by saying something that he did not say, but the things that he said he done for him are the things that a mentor or uh, I mean, a person, a caregiver, whatever, anybody that's taking care of the young would do, care for him. Mhm. And I just believe that the fake advantage do not really see what he see is love. I love him. He love me. He doesn't see that that is wrong. That he really should not work with. Some people look old. That child looks like a child, and uh, he may have been old enough to. Florentino may have been old enough to see what he want, know what he want, because he said how they chatted for a while and this and that and this and that, without with the absence of saying he see what he wants. The young. So but he really had me. He had me, he had me, he had me. I was believing him, you know. And then I heard Donnell and I was believing him. So I'm very torn, but I'm gonna tell you something about Donnell. He said that the mother that the fake advance had done something that was severe enough to one of his nieces for his mother to call up the authorities. Miss Parker asked him, and I'm not going to tell you everything, right, Shank? Because I want Miss Parker to get that traffic. Right, that right. He said that Miss Parker asked him, well, what was it? He said, I don't know. I was at work. Are you kidding me? Do that make sense to anybody? You don't know?
Nope, it don't make any sense.
And it shouldn't make sense to him to even tell us or make us think that. It just doesn't make sense that, first of all, you shouldn't stay at work. Second of all, are you kidding? You don't know. Yeah, he did this and he did that. And yeah, he beat me up. But I bet he got 4 teeth missing. That's how it should have went. So he was telling us what we wanted to hear. And like I said, Christians, they have a dark side that they will not let out. And he just wanted to get on there and say what he thought we wanted to hear without rehearsing or really making it make sense. It just didn't make sense. So I don't know who to believe, but what I do know is if the way Evangelist said she was strict, those are the wrong words. Like I used the wrong words. Strict people, because you know. Let me get this right. Strict people do not, do not, do not allow all, all, all. When I say all, I mean it. Because testimony is something we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? It's something we don't know about. But over and over again, she allowed each one of them to go with somebody much older. And you can't do nothing about it to a certain extent. But you I don't hear any fight, any fight. Everything was okay, and I think that we really had to understand that for 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 that desire to bring that baby to this world, what it would mean, what would that mean? You know, my niece got a baby by my baby father. Hmm. Jarvis, the father, Annette. Like I said, do you know how many people would go down? And it was such a stupid plan, but not a strategic plan to get rid of that beautiful young lady. I believe that Jarvis is holding his head down to keep quiet. He's just being
It's a
a protector, a protector, because Shannon,
lot of people
I
involved.
don't, yeah, I don't
But
hear
they
her
brought too
talking
much.
about.
She brought too many men
Hey,
around. It
baby.
was too many men around them children.
Oh
Too
my
many
God.
men. And
Yep.
it was too many men. And how many men did that girl meet at the garage? How many,
Huh.
how many cars pull up with men in the cars? How many have they set her up with at the garage?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the thing. That's another thing. How many men have come in and out of there and he gave them privilege for her?
Yes, ma'am. And you know what else? You know what else, Shank? I would like to know, and I asked over and over again, why didn't the children go to school that day? And why Shannon really never talked about talking to Naziah during the day on any other day? Because she said she talked to her on while she was on her break. But the one of the teachers something said she was crying. So how'd she go from crying to talking to Shannon with no without any flaws? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't the children go to school that day?
Any last words before we get out of here, Lisa? I'm gonna let Talk with Prince come up. Any last
Oh,
words?
absolutely.
Any last
And
words, Lisa?
I love all of y'all. I really do. And I thank God for y'all because this really it really helps me. It really did. I'm sorry. It really helps me. Salute y'all.
Appreciate you, Lisa. Any
So
last words, Foxy? Come on
no,
up. Talk with
I'm gonna go
Prince.
ahead and drop down. Go ahead and talk with Prince. But thank you and keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Come on up, Talk with Prince. We got to do better. We got to expose these fake church folks for who they are. Hey, if you ain't a fake church folks, you ain't got nothing to worry about. If you are not a fake church person, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But for those fake church folks, y'all got a whole lot to worry about. Y'all have been getting exposed, but y'all really get ready to get exposed now. Y'all want to hide underneath y'all titles and y'all, man, we tired of all of that BS. We tired of it. We tired of it. Now, I can say early on in the church days, the church was everything for our community. I will give the church that much. And once upon a time, the church was everything for us. Once upon a time. Well, the church folks have lost their way, and we want y'all up out of here, because y'all so quick to talk about those people that's in the streets. Man, won't they just get their life together? Won't they just come to the Lord? Yeah, we see what happened when y'all went to the Lord. So why would we come to the Lord and y'all just as jacked up as the people in the streets are? But y'all don't want to have that conversation, do y'all? Y'all old holier than thou wannabes. So I don't mean to offend none of the good church folks. However, if y'all get offended by it, oh well. Oh well. We starting at the church. We want God's people. We want y'all to get right or come up out of the house of the Lord. That's what we want. Now, if y'all ain't right, y'all come on up out of the house of the Lord and stop playing with God. Come on up, talk with Prince. Come on up, talk with Prince. Come on up, talk with Prince. They masquerading around in the name of the Lord. Nah, we ain't doing in the name of the Lord no more unless you right. Now, if you right, by any means, if you right. Come on, talk with Prince. Come on, talk with Prince.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, first of all, shout out to you, Shane Rock. I give you your props for actually bringing the wannabe evangelist, okay? Because at this point, because I asked him a question. I asked him, where did he get his schooling from? Because before you can hold any title, you must go to school and be taught. He couldn't answer, okay? So, I'm going to say wannabe, whatever he want to be. One thing about him is his story changed. Now, I stand on this. When we spoke with Darnell, his story did not change. Even if we believe it or we don't believe it, his story didn't change. We spoke with him several times before he even hit Ms. Parker's platform. His story did not change. That's one thing that I stand on. I believe that man was honest and transparent as best as he wanted to be, because all of us got skeletons in our closets. You get what I'm saying? People want to know things. People want to know, well, you know, what happened in Annette's house at this time, leading up to understand how Naziah actually just disappeared. In order for us to get to where we want to go to, we sometimes got to go through people that we don't want to go through or go to. And I stand on that part of that part of it. And secondly, we as people, okay, this you could be white, yellow, brown, or green. We got to stop looking at people and judging them, be quick to want to attack them and be quick to ready to turn stuff over. Listen to them. Even if you know it don't sound right, because we know 2 + 2 is 4. If they think 2 + 2 is 8, then we're going to let them think that and be like, look, you know what? Okay, we know it's 4, but you say it's 8, okay? And remember that they said it was 8, because when they say 2 + 2 is 4, later on down the road, we're going to say, wait a minute, but you said it was 8. Like, do I believe that Darnell was completely, honestly transparent with us? No. But I believe that he was completely transparent to what he experienced, what he knew. Because what a lot of people don't understand is, I have spoken with this man several times, and his story hasn't changed. It's more layers to this thing. This thing is just deeper. It's deeper than what we actually think it is. But see, they want you and Miss Parker to spin a narrative that y'all won't spin. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I spoke with the wannabe evangelist, he was saying one thing with Miss Parker and saying another thing with me because he knew I won't go on. Look, hold on, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? What you ain't gonna do is get in front of my sister and like you didn't say that because I have no reason to lie. Because I don't know you. You get what I'm saying? Do I believe he knows more? Yeah, he knows more. The math won't math and none of that was mathing up. But I feel like Miss Parker asked all the right questions. You get them? Sometimes we, even as people, have to know when to allow someone to lead and when to know when to follow someone. Because if it wasn't for you, I would have never thought about reaching out to him. Because what I did is I reached out to him and he talked in circles, but me and Miss Parker read between them lines. And if some people didn't read between the lines, that's just them.
And I'm so glad. Let me give you and Miss Parker y'all flowers. I'm so glad that you reached out, and I'm so glad that Miss Parker was able to bring him up on the panel, and both of y'all done an excellent job. Shout out to Talk with Prince and Miss Parker. Appreciate that super sticker, Shannon. Appreciate that super sticker, Shannon. Come on back in, Prince.
And my thing is, one thing about true people of God, like myself, because you can quote the Bible to me all day like he be doing, and none of that. I don't care about none of that. Because my thing is, will you stand and honor the word of God? There's a difference between the two. So what they ain't gonna do in my face is play with God. I ain't gonna have it. So I have to go to. I don't care who archbishop. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about a title. Because at the end of the day, I don't want that baby girl's blood on my hands. I want to make sure I did everything I could possibly do to help bring this baby home or help figure out what happened to this baby. Because some people know. You know what I'm saying? And looking at the church and looking at all the different things I've dug into that church, it's not right. And I want to correct something so people to understand this. An evangelist can be a male. It can be a male or female. It don't have to be it don't. And then I went to the church, their bylaws, none of that stuff makes no sense. So don't even think. So they coach it or not. No, they non-denominational. That means they don't fall under any kind of regular church. That's what that means. So please, before y'all get on here any comments saying that stuff, please know what y'all talking about, because I would gracefully correct you, and I stand on it. The mods want to block me, I don't care, because when it comes to about church and about God's word, I'm gonna stand on what I said and say what I say, because that's not something to play with. And for the evangelist and Darnell, do I feel like kind of it could be, oh well, he said this, he said, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know them people. We can only listen to them and tell y'all what they told us and bring them on the panels. We don't know. Because even if he would have came to your platform, he would have probably said the same thing. We don't know. You get what I'm saying? You probably would have been a little bit more aggressive with him, but you wouldn't have got no more out of him because we pressed him. But his story didn't change, Shank. It didn't. It did not change. Now, the
Give
one
me
bit
some of give me some of the evangelist story change as far as what he said to Miss Parker and what he said to you behind the scenes. Just give me one. Just give me one.
One thing that stood out is with me, he told me he dropped Lady off at the Travel Inn Hotel in Detroit on the 3rd of January. When Miss Parker got on the phone, he said he didn't drop Lady off. But then on that panel, he got up there. All Miss Parker did was reverse the question. She asked the same question, and he said, "Yeah, I did drop Lady off," but yet told me he didn't. He told me, you know what I'm saying? He told me and Miss Parker, no, I didn't drop Lady off. She wandered off from me. He said, what now, sir? You told me you dropped Lady off at the Travel Inn on January 3rd. Because you was in town at some kind of, you was already in town getting ready to go to some kind of New Year's Eve thingy. She had at the church.
Have you been in touch with him since the interview?
I have. And he has told me some things that Miss Park has played on her panel. He was very he's not a person that you could just take at face value. But if you sit and listen, that's why I keep saying in the chat, and everyone's just, it's going over y'all head. Behind every lie he told a truth. He might have told 10 lies, but he probably told about 7 truths in there somewhere. But we can't be stuck on the lie he told. We got to be understand and see the truth that he told. Because but one thing he said, he told me he was Jarvis and Miss Park. He drove Jarvis around. He would drive Jarvis to work, so forth, so forth. But on the live, he said, hey, he didn't. It was a hey and bye situation. That's not what you told us behind the scenes, sir. So I mean, and with Darnell, his story didn't change. He basically said he didn't know. Of course, we did our research before we brought him up, and we found some stuff. We asked him about it, and he answered it. Do it make sense to some people? Some people don't make sense to, but to me, it makes sense. Okay, yeah, he possibly could have went and found Shannon them page. That's a possibility. We don't know. We can't say he lying. We can't say the man telling the truth. We don't know. We can only listen to him. Because the more you listen to people, the comfortable you get. They'll tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear and what you want to know.
Well, we appreciate you for sharing what you shared with us. So let's go and give Miss Parker some more traffic. Let's go back and backtrack both interviews. Let's backtrack the evangelist interview. Let's backtrack Kenneth Donnell Greer interview. It's food.
Yeah, it's food.
And
It's meat.
it's meat. Let's keep in mind what Talk with Prince gave us. Let's backtrack. I'll backtrack it. I don't have a problem with backtracking. Let's backtrack. Because I agree. You always have to listen. That's why when I had Roxy's mother up here, Kenya. Now I caught a lot of heat. From people. Shank, why you got up there? Woo, 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 woo. I kept quiet. I held my peace. No problem. But I watched things shift when you and Miss Parker had the evangelist and Kenneth Donnell up there. It was, we want to hear what they got to say. But that's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
But what we got to focus on, we cannot pick and choose who we listen to.
Right.
We have to focus on what they all say.
Exactly. We do.
Any last words before we get out of here? Talk with Prince.
No, just for us to just listen more. Not to wear our feelings, which is hard to not wear your feelings on your sleeve, but take your feelings off your sleeves for a moment and just listen to them. Even if you think they lying, just listen. Because behind every lie they tell, it's a truth in there. And Shank Rock, I appreciate you for actually just even bring awareness to, well, who's the guy that's with the camera? Why he always, what's up with the dude with wanting to take pictures of the babies and stuff? What's this dude on? That made me go like, hold on, let me go see what this man is. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for actually doing that, opening our eyes to even looking below the surface of, okay, who the dude is with the camera though? Because nobody asked that but you. Nobody asked that question. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who the dude with the camera? So I appreciate you for actually doing that, you know what I'm saying, and fighting for the babies, for all babies, not just Naziah, but fighting for all the babies. Giving them a voice. You and Miss Parker giving them kids a voice that they was denied for so long. because and I'll comment real quick on Annette on Granny Monster. Granny Monster, she failed not only Naziah, but she failed her own kids. So it goes back to she failed her own kids. She just, do I believe she belongs in jail? She do. She need to be right on up there with Jarvis, with Shannon, all of them. Throw them all in jail at this point, because all of them have something or some kind of connection to why baby girl is no longer here. That's it. That's all. Throw them all in jail at this point.
I appreciate you talk with Prince.
Appreciate you, Prank. Appreciate you, King. Hope you have a great day. I enjoy your commentary. I enjoy your content. Yeah,
All
you
right.
and Miss Parker keep doing what y'all doing.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Salute to all of my moderators. Salute to the chat. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to Lisa, Talk with Prince, and Foxy for blessing me on the panel. Remember, Miss Parker has her merch. Miss Parker has her merch. Check her Instagram handle as well as check her community wall. Make sure we are supporting Miss Parker's merch. All right. I will leave the chat running. If you would like to support the channel, there's different ways you can support the channel. If you would like to send a cash donation, my cash app is $ERICMCINT. Or you could purchase a membership, a super sticker, or a super chat to the channel. Just click on the $ symbol. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Remember, if you touch a child, you touch all of us. Hashtag justice for Naziah Harris. Hashtag protect our children. Hashtag save our children. All right. I'll leave the chat running and you all can hang around. Salute everybody. And I'll see y'all on the next demonstration. Salute everybody.
In Wayne County, where Jarvis Butts, the man charged with sexually assaulting and killing 13-year-old Naziah Harris, was back in court today. Our Jordan Burroughs was inside the courtroom and joins us now with a recap of today's proceedings.
Today at the Wayne County Criminal Justice Center, Judge Nicholas Hathaway laid out dates in the Jarvis Butts case. Butts is accused of murdering 13-year-old Naziah Harris last year. His jury selection is scheduled to start October 6th. Jarvis Butts was in court Friday to hear Judge Nicholas Hathaway decide key dates in his trial. The defense and prosecution both agreed on the dates as they await the full transcript to be typed out so they can read it over. Butts was previously in court January 17th for a hearing where he entered a not guilty plea. At that hearing, just like Friday's, Naziah Harris's family and friends were present. Butts, 42 years old, of Detroit, is charged with first-degree premeditated murder, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child sexually abusive activity. Butts is also accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Naziah. She was last seen getting off her school bus at the corner of Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive in Detroit on January 9th of last year. Her body has not been found. As jury selection starts October 6th, the prosecution said it could call 40 or more witnesses to the stand, and the defense said it could call 10 or more. It's a trial that could take 3 to 4 weeks.
I'm hopeful that you're going to have that transcript here, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Obviously, with that trial date being in October, we have some time to work with. But I'd like to see you all again for final conference.
Today's calendar conference also laid out another key date, which includes the last conference. That will be on Friday, June 20th. Reporting from the Wayne County Criminal Justice Center, Jordan Burroughs, CBS News, Detroit.
But I don't want to do this no more, Miss Parker.
What? You don't want to do this shit no more, nigga?
You're not listening to me, Miss Parker. And you know, with the demonstration that I've done, we gotta agree to disagree.
The fuck you thought? We was going back to the mud with this shit? Huh? It's part of life for you. It's part of the pussy for me.
All right, Miss Parker.